Lovely Friday morning, everyone. I'm Erica from BrandSpeak Asia, and welcome to another live episode of Hashtag Ask BrandSpeak. We've been talking about principles, tips, and basics about branding and right now digital marketing for 4 weeks. Wow, of course, we want to thank the viewers who've been with us since our pilot episode. And if this is your first time watching, welcome. Make sure to follow our socials seen below to stay updated and to be reminded whenever we go live. We still have a lot of learnings to share with you. And if you're a business owner or even a marketing professional, this is also a good opportunity for you. Because aside from this live session, you can also book a free 10-minute brand consultation with us. Just type your name, company, and contact details on the appearing card or simply send us a message and one of our team member will get in touch with you. Before we continue, why not think of and tag someone who would also benefit or enjoy today's episode? This could actually be your learn party where we engage and gather knowledge together, just like how we all enjoy the watch party on Netflix, right? Last week, our speaker, Ms. Denise Villanueva, shared with us the 5 ways to develop brand assets for your brand. These are know how you want to be recognized, know who you are talking to, know where you want to be visible, know when to use them, and know what to avoid. What resonated in me is really the last one because all of us are always into the what should we do that sometimes we unintentionally forgot what should we avoid. One of the examples of the common mistake in branding last time is ignoring brand aging signs. Sometimes brands ignore the fact that they are due for a rebranding. While it's true that you must be consistent, you must also stay relevant in order for you to stay on the minds of this generation. For short, you always have to keep up and stay creative. These are just some items that I personally learned from last week's episode. And if you missed that, of course, you can always go back and watch it on our Facebook or YouTube accounts. So I won't let you wait any longer. I know you're all excited because we're also stepping on another series of discussion, which is about conquering digital marketing. So I am turning this over to our lovely speaker for today, BrandSpeak Asia's President and CEO, Miss Lady Armes.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction, Erica. I'd like to greet everybody a good morning, a lovely Friday morning today. If you are joining us live today, then happy Friday. But if you are going to watch this stream later on, watch it in replay, then I hope that you guys are having a very good day wherever you are across the world. Welcome to another episode of Ask Brand Speak, where we talk about all things branding and digital marketing. Again, my name is Lay, and today I'll be talking to you about the misconceptions that people have about digital marketing and probably the reason why people can't start it or don't want to start it or in the middle of doing something, they get into trouble. Well, all is well. We are here to discuss those things with you. All right. But before I talk to you about this topic, again, I'd like to invite everybody, if you're watching on Facebook, if you could hit that like button, like us on Facebook, BrandSpeak Asia page. And if you're watching from YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button and hit the bell so that every time we go on live, you will be notified about our videos. And for this specific session, it's called Ask Brand Speak. We do this every Friday at 9 o'clock in the morning, Asia Pacific time. So why don't you go ahead and do that? And lastly, just like what Erica said, please do not hesitate to type in any questions that you have at all about digital marketing, because one of the things that we started this particular session online is so that we can invite you guys for a free 10-minute consultation with us. So you will see an FB card in there, or one of our colleagues will type it in there. You are, free and welcome to consult with us for 10 minutes and maybe more if there's more questions that you have. So why don't you type in the chat if that is you, if you're a brand manager, a student, or an SME owner, an entrepreneur, please type there, I want 10. All right? I want 10. So we will know that you want to be contacted, and go ahead and send us privately your message, your email, so that we can contact you right after. All right, so that's something that we're offering to you, and hopefully you guys are getting some takeaways from the previous episodes of Ask Brand Speak that we're doing. All right. Again, another thing that I want to share with you is a successful business strategy that we did for a client that is actually hinged on digital marketing. So that those of you who are still apprehensive in fully using the technology and digital tools, right, will have a reference point of why you should shift your marketing efforts to digital. All right. You know what? Late last year, our company, our agency, worked with a milk tea client. Okay. So I won't mention the name, but you'll probably know if you check our socials already who this client is. But milk tea, who doesn't like milk tea, especially in these days, right? Can I know what's your favorite flavor? All right. So late last year, we worked with a milk tea client for a couple of months, I think half a year. And we partnered with influencers, select influencers for them with a two-pronged goal, which is to create brand awareness, all right, and to drive sales. So it's a true two-pronged goal. And the results of creating brand awareness, right, the results of this campaign was enormously successful because, get this, all right, you have to get this, the brand sold out 6 months worth of limited edition merchandise stocks, which is also a goal of them, in just 3 days, right? Can you imagine going sold out 6 months worth of limited edition merchandise in just 3 days? That's really good for every business owner, right? So that was just 3 days after the launch of our influencer pairing campaign. Another result that came out of this campaign was that 200,000 podcast episode, right? 200,000 views were seen in the podcast episode, right? 2 weeks after the launch for this particular influencer that we worked with. Another result that came out of it was that we received extra mileage, which is always good because it's free, when the content of the celebrities got featured in articles. And we got this extra mileage, right? It's always good because it helps you with your SEO, search engine optimization. When you get published articles online and people start to search you, it's easier for the algorithm of Google and other search engines to bring your company name up because you have published articles going on around the internet. So that's really, really good. The main strategy that we used was influencer marketing via brand immersion, right? And I'll spill the beans. We partnered with Joy Spring, Megan Young, Mikael Daes. So if you're from the Philippines, you know these people. Very easygoing. We love listening to their podcasts. And the deal was pretty simple. We asked them to drink the milk tea, okay, while they were doing their usual podcast thing. So while they're conversing, talking about life, talking about what it is that they had to talk to about that episode, no hard sell talks about our product. They were just drinking it all throughout, all right? Nothing hard sell, just a mention every now and then because the fact that they're already consuming that, right, is already whetting the appetite of the viewers, okay? And already they know, the viewers already know that they're consuming that and that they're authentic. The engagement is authentic. And so one of the most beautiful things that you can get out of an influencer marketing campaign is that after the engagement, the output that they created on their platforms, in this case, a podcast, all right, that you can also view on YouTube, okay, will remain in their platforms so that you can get extended or prolonged reach and impression, which is really good. So it's not like a one-time thing that you do and you pull down right after. You can watch it again and again, and the brand can engage with the commenters again and again, right? So, you can use it as a lead generation technique as well if you're a brand or a brand marketer looking for ways on how you can generate leads, all right? So that is very, very important. So creating digital commercials or videos and boosting them on your platforms and utilizing paid advertising will definitely cost more, okay? But this strategy that we did with influencer pairing, okay, the cost was more or less only 1/4 of that, okay? Because it takes really a fortune to produce like commercials and videos, hiring talents, and so on and so forth. Plus, you can't really be raw and real, this is what social media is all about, right? Not everything should be curated, and that's what the audience likes as well. Authenticity, because it's coming from raw and real conversations. So, yeah. So if you want to do that, hit us up. Again, comment there in the section how we did that. Say, I want 10. All right, I want 10. That's I want 10 minutes of your time. All right. So again, I am here to talk to you about the top 5 digital marketing misconceptions that's going around. Okay. Some of which maybe you have already heard, but I'm here to just maybe cement that conversation so that you can finally do whatever you want when it comes to digital marketing. All right. One of the most amazing things about digital marketing, and in this case, I'll zero in social media because there's a whole lot more when it comes to going digital. It's not just about social media, is that you can learn how to use it on your own. Am I right? You can start your own account, you can tweak in here, create your own profile. It's very much a DIY kind of thing because there's also tons of materials available about social media. You can Google them, you can check on YouTube how to, how that, a lot of tutorials also. And the beauty about that is that you can already learn something and test this out on your own, even before allocating a significant amount or budget into your digital marketing, category. So as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, that is really good. Even for big corporations, anything that you can test first or anything that you can build an audience first with before actually rolling out a campaign is really a good thing. Okay, think about, for example, in traditional sense of the word, if you belong to a production company like department stores, you would have to produce a whole lot of clothing and then put it out in the department store and expect and wait for people to come and buy all of those until it sells out. But with digital, you can pre-produce all of that by getting orders before you actually produce, which saves you a lot of money, right? So that's just, some information that I can share. Those are some of the things that we've done with brands, saving them a lot of money before actually getting on in the campaign. So yeah, that's one of the things. Another thing, that I can recall is, if you talk about traditional marketing, billboards, radio, TV commercials. For a billboard, for example, if you spend 300,000 pesos, okay, for a billboard placement, the reach of that would probably put you along EDSA. If you are in the Philippines, you know where EDSA is. It used to be the most traffic road in the Philippines because it's a main thoroughfare. Okay, you have to take note of how many people exactly saw and acted on that ad, but probably you'll never find out unless you have an active campaign that says, call this number. And then when they call that number after seeing your billboard, then you can do a survey. How did you find this advertisement and stuff, right? So it's very hard to track the actual reach and how many people actually acted upon that ad compared to social media, where you post something, you boost something, let's say for 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, or 100,000 pesos, which is still less than a billboard, and you can actually see the number of clicks, and you can actually see the profile pictures of those people who connected with your ad. So those are just some of the beautiful things which are revolutionary in the world of marketing, right? So this thing should not be thought of already. You should really go into it. All right. So again, let's talk about the 5 in the next few minutes that I have with you. Again, thank you so much for tuning in with us. Again, this is Ask Brand Speak, and we talk about all things branding and digital marketing every Fridays at 9 o'clock. And of course, if you can't make it because 9 o'clock for some reason you're away, you can always go back to our YouTube channel and check out our playlist on Ask Brand Speak and get all these information for free. All right. Number 1 misconception or myth about digital marketing is this: success is dependent on the platform, so choose only one that suits you or your company. Right? Again, number 1 misconception: success is dependent on the platform, so choose only one that suits your company. Okay? The question that most companies have is, where should I publish my content? What platform should I use? Well, it can be overwhelming to choose a platform to use for your digital marketing efforts. You don't really have to choose and select one for you. Okay? I'm going to give you a lot of statistics right now to prove this point that success is not really dependent on the platform. You don't only have to choose one. Okay? Facebook itself, right? Facebook accounts this year led the biggest chunk in the pie in social media as a social media network with 2.8 billion users to date. Imagine, that's one fourth of the population of the world. Can you imagine? 2.8. So the question is, why don't you maximize the use of Facebook? You already know how many people, how many accounts, and I'm talking about active accounts that are in there. Okay? Active accounts, 2.8 billion. Imagine if you can only get 0.001, okay, percent of that pie and create a loyal community or a loyalty program to attract that 0.001%. That's still a lot of people engaging with you. It's still a big community base. All right. So that is how big Facebook is. YouTube comes in second with more than 2 billion active users to date. Okay? Imagine, again, that's also almost one fourth of the population. I know for a fact, my kids, even I, consume a lot of YouTube on a daily basis for our own learning, entertainment, what more. We also have our own YouTube channel. Hey, yeah. So feel free to follow me as well on YouTube, Lady Armas. I talk about all things digital marketing as well, and sometimes about life in general and entrepreneurship and leadership. All right. Another thing, what's up? Okay, what's up? As of 2020, WhatsApp is the most popular global messenger app worldwide with approximately 2 billion monthly active users. Okay, outranking Facebook Messenger with 1.3 billion and WeChat at 1.2 billion users. So those are the top messenger or global messenger apps that is out there. And the beauty is that it's free. You can get it on premium, but if you don't want to, then you can absolutely use it for free. Connect with clients abroad with no cost to you, right? That's really a good thing. What else? Instagram. Instagram has more than 1 billion active users and has marked about 22% increase in user count in just 1 year. That's a big jump from 2020 to 2021. So you can already see how the company and how the platform is performing. So you ought to maximize that, right? Another thing, TikTok. Okay, one of the hottest right now, and one of the platforms that has the most potential because it's in video format and it's so easy to use and it's raw, revolutionary, and especially the Gen Z people love this so much. Where Gen Z, they're not your young ones anymore. They're actually going to be your next decision makers. Give it another 5 years, right? Those people who are now 25 years old will rise up to become 30, and then they'll become the next decision makers. So think about that. It's the seventh most used social network in the world today. That's TikTok for you. How about Google? Okay, Google is the leading search engine in the world, which processes over, get this, 3.5 billion searches per day. Can you imagine how busy Google is? Okay, so 3.5 billion searches a day. If you want to break it down, that's like 40,000 search queries every second on average. Can you imagine? Every second, there's 40,000 inquiries of whatever, how to, where to, what's that, stuff like that. Okay, that's how powerful these platforms are. Therefore, you don't have to choose only one that suits you. Go for omnipresence. Go for omni-channel, right? Be present as much as you can everywhere. You can no longer grow your business through one channel. Okay? Having presence in these platforms and actively using them will allow you to get access to different types of audiences. If you say TikTok is too young for my audience, well, someday, again, like what I said, your audience will grow and you will need to introduce your company to them. So why not do it today? Why not do a conscious effort today to plan for a long-term and generational marketing? It will cost you less in the future. Okay? Branding is the name of the game. So it's not about which is the best platform for you because all these platforms are just pipes. Your success is not dependent on these platforms. Okay? It's dependent about It's dependent on what you put into these pipes, your content, how you position yourself. That will make a difference. Okay. In this talk, branding and value are the two top names of the game. Whatever platform, whatever form of social media or digital marketing tool that you use, the name of the game is branding and your value. Focus on building your brand and always, always communicate your value. Okay? Constantly, consistently, ask yourself the question, what makes you stand out? Okay? There's a lot of competition. Why will they choose you? Communicate this. So, in summary, my advice is go for omni channel. Just take the time to study and learn the tools and benefits of each of the platforms and see where you get the most engagement, conversation, and success. And then maybe focus your efforts in that in the future. Okay? And you don't have to do it all at the same time. Maybe take the time for today, study about this, the next month, study about this, the next time, study about Instagram, and then be present in all of them. All right. So I'll move on to number two. The number two misconception about digital marketing is this: you can do everything on your own, right? Well, a lot of what drove marketing to transition from traditional to digital marketing is because tech giants, such as the names that I already mentioned, like Google, YouTube, Amazon, Facebook, Instagram, have made it very easy for us to use. Okay? It's very easy. Ease of use and access, 100%. Anybody can access that. Plus, another thing, it's free, right? With one click of a finger, as long as you're connected to the internet, you can reach already a world outside the four walls of your office, outside the boundaries of your city, and across different countries around the world. That's how powerful it is. So yes, you can do everything on your own in the beginning, okay? In the beginning, but a successful campaign is also very dependent, like what I said, on content, collaboration, and consistency. Three C's that you have to remember. So, of course, there are many more factors that make a successful campaign, but for this video, these are what I can share with you. So, why can't you just do it on your own? That is the question. You say to yourself, I'm already doing it, I'm doing everything. Okay, if you're running your own company, you're an entrepreneur, or you manage a product or a service, your main focus must be on the growth of the business, which involves a whole lot of things: sales, product creation and improvement, operations, finance, human resources, and a lot more. So, a common story is that marketing is always left unattended. It usually is put in the back burner. Okay? Ask a lot of entrepreneurs, it normally happens because that is not your main focus. And when what happens is when you are not intentional in your marketing plans, the company is unable to build a brand, a solid one. And without branding, you will not stand out and have no longer you will have no long lasting equity in the minds of the market, and you need that. You can't build that overnight. So you have to continuously build on these things. All right. How else? If you think that digital marketing is just DIY, then you will have to make sure that you have the right fundamentals in creating graphics, taking photos, editing them, and more importantly, writing the copy, the caption, the wording, the wordplay in your marketing materials. All these play a vital role in making sure that people notice what you're putting out there. Okay? All these are important to ensure that whatever you create, right, also connects with your target market. These are your assets and you want them to perform by doing it right. When planning to expand, leverage more seriously on what social media and digital marketing can do for you, it is important for you to focus on, again, like what I said, three C's, and I'll talk about that in a minute, okay? To grow your network and to maximize digital tools to achieve your goals. Let's talk about those three C's again. Number one is content, okay? What is content? Content is whatever you put in your social media. These are the assets or the materials that you post or publish, okay? In terms of media or format, it could range from graphics, images, photos, GIFs, digital art, illustrations, short videos, animations, listicles, articles, or links from our other media, and the list goes on. There's a whole lot in terms of media or format. In terms of substance and focus, it could range from a bucket list of informational things, right? Like that's about your product, talking about your company, talking about your services, or inspirational, which are quotes, short stories, right? Things that inspire people, or testimonial. Testimonial are successful client remarks or comments or case studies that will allow your market to see how you've actually given value to another company. Or it could also be user generated or crowdsourced type of content where you can repost from your audience because they're actually posting some things about what you're doing. So that is something that you can also think about when producing content for your social media platforms. In terms of purpose, it is important to use the right way of messaging or communication. You always have to know what is your purpose, okay? And this is usually addressed by content writing or copywriting. And content writing is a type of caption writing that aims to build a brand, while copywriting is a type of writing that aims to sell the product or your services, okay? There's a difference. So in terms of when you develop content, you will need people to do the graphics, to take the photos, to create the videos, and all those sort of things. You will need people to write the copy, make thoughtful content writing for you, okay? Plus, know the timing. Okay, I know it could be overwhelming. And in the beginning, like what I said, you can DIY this and check for your own, which is always good, especially if you're an entrepreneur. It's always good to know how to do these things on your own. But to grow and to actually build something and to actually have a lasting result, an effective campaign that comes out of it, it's really good for you to engage and start hiring and think of building a team, okay, who actually know how to do these things for you, right? That's your investment. Imagine maybe you can reallocate that placement of 300,000 from a billboard into, these people to hire and build a team and let them work on something that can last you for a whole year. Okay, I'm not kidding. That is a budget that's feasible also just to build on content, just to build your brand. Okay, that is a cost budget that you can think. So again, I'll just plug this in right here. Okay, that you can actually schedule a 10-minute consultation with us right after this video. Okay, just comment, I want 10. Or on the FB card, just put your name in there and share to us your email privately, send us a PM, and we will get in touch with you. Right? So that's content for you. Another C is collaboration. The second C that I want to share with you, talking about collaboration, is you partnering with other entities, other brands, or other influencers that can make digital marketing work better for you. It is always great to collaborate with fellow content creators or other brands that can support the growth of your business. Collaboration has been a very popular tool because of the benefit that it gives to two collaborating parties. Okay, for one, they get to share each other's network and level up each other's brands in that capacity. Okay, as an example of a collaboration that's been very successful is a fashion brand icon, Tommy Hilfiger. If you're familiar with Tommy Hilfiger, he partnered with Gigi Hadid, and you're maybe familiar with Gigi Hadid also, especially if you're from the Gen Z or millennial. She's a supermodel, right? Tommy Hilfiger is a fashion brand icon, and while Gigi Hadid is a world-renowned supermodel, and Gigi acted as a global ambassador for the sportswear brand, but also co-designed. Okay, this is where the collaboration came in. She co-designed Tommy X Gigi collections for a couple of seasons. Okay, so and what she got out of this is that she was able to expose herself in the world of design. Okay, so that is something that has also elevated her brand as a personality, not just a supermodel, but entering into the world of design, having that better credibility when it comes to fashion. And there is also a quote coming from Tommy Hilfiger's side that says that the partnership has actually led to an increase in sales and greater social media presence. And why are you doing digital marketing again? This is what you want exactly. An increase in your sales and greater social media presence, right? Tommy or the CEO also said this, which is Daniel Greeter. He said this: the halo effect across the brand has positively impacted all divisions globally, and they're excited to continue building on the success of this. Right? So that is wonderful. In one partnership, it has enabled a success across the different brands operating globally. Okay, so with digital marketing, you can actually make local global. That is actually our vision. All right. Another thing that they did in line with this partnership is that they actually launched an app that uses the supermodel again, Gigi Hadid, as a spokesperson. Whenever you open the app, she's a spokesperson, and you can actually also use her platform on Instagram to purchase Tommy Hilfiger goods directly. Okay, so they were able to expand their portal or channel of transacting business, which is very important. If you can imagine that in the traditional sense of doing business, it's like you opened a new store here and there, but with the influence and the network that Gigi has on her Instagram, it's like opening up your store to that big of a market. Right? So that's one for you. Another C in the pie is consistency. Okay, consistency. And the rule of seven is applied in digital marketing where a person interacts with your brand. Okay, they interact with their brand after seeing your brand 7 times. 7 times, the rule of seven. So it's not enough for you to do one off posting or to leave one post at a time. You have to make that post work hard for you. It is not enough. The market needs to see what you're posting again and again. You have to be active. You can't not share even on a weekly basis. If we could recommend, do it on a daily basis. Like every single day, you're posting something, you're building on content and allowing different types of people to see your content. Okay, so in the beginning, like what I said, you can really DIY your way to start all of these things. But if you want to grow, you need to start building a team for this. That's really important. All right, let's move on to misconception number 3, which is this: your efforts do not work because you did not see the conversion right away. Okay? This misconception is directly proportionate to the goal set when creating a marketing campaign. Are you using digital marketing as a strategy to build a brand, or are you using it to sell? For a particular season, which one is it? Are you doing it at the same time? Because these two goals are obviously directly related, but they are not the same. Building a brand and trying to sell are very different things. All right. And obviously, there's more goals that you can put in digital marketing. Okay. So, starting a digital marketing without a proper goal in mind will disappoint you and will make you doubt the effectiveness of on this medium. Okay. Let me say and share this. Social media is not magic. Digital marketing takes time and thoughtful planning, which begins with you knowing what your purpose is. So, aside from having a goal in mind, you should also set a reasonable timeline and a reasonable budget that you are willing to set aside for this specific strategy. Okay? I use this analogy of clients expecting to see results with a few posts only here and there, with a person who dips his feet in the shore, okay, but expecting to have a full beach experience. It's different. You can't enjoy the full experience of being in the beach just by dipping your toes in the sand. We have clients who are hesitant about engaging with influencers on a one-time basis because they didn't see the results right away. Okay, like what I said, if you just dip your toes in the sand, it won't work that way. That's not a beach experience. You have to dive in, check the fish, right? What are they doing down there? Do some snorkel. You want to do a deep dive, then you're going full immersion of what the ocean can offer for you. The same is true with digital marketing. So, at the very least, you have to give it 2 weeks to 30 days to see at least lasting results. What results, what kind of results do you want to see? Okay, so if you want to talk about results, maybe just to line up your eggs or your ducks in a row, you can think about this. What kind of results do you want to see? Okay, number one, are you building a base? Okay, or people following your page? Are you enlarging your presence? Number two, Do you want to see more likes to your posts? Engagement. Do you want to see more people comment? That's number three on your post. That's different. Do you want to see more inquiries for your products? That's another goal. Do you want to see more clicks to your site? Okay, you want to see your click through rate. That's also different. These are different goals that you need to set when creating a digital marketing campaign so that your expectations are aligned with your goals. You should start by building your audience network first and then expecting to see digital traffic, okay, some traffic that leads to conversion to sales, okay? Which is conversion is actually people buying into what it is that you're posting or sharing. All right, so that's very important. Hopefully, you're getting something. If you are, I would appreciate seeing your takeaways. Even if you're watching on replay, just say, I'm watching on replay and share your takeaway with me. I'd love to see that and check that out. All right, let's move on to misconception number 4, which is this myth number 4: keep on building content and you will get there. Sounds good, right? Sounds good. Well, content creation is everything because that is your substance. You have to be intentional in analyzing if what you're putting out there actually connects and engages with your audience. Therefore, it is not enough that you just create and create and create and post content, having no regular time to evaluate, okay, and analyze if your efforts are really effective. You have to read through the analytics. So, keeping and putting out content is not just enough. You have to use analytics, and there are available tools for you to do that. What these tools actually do is that they provide to you, right, data that tells you what you need to know when it comes to digital marketing. Okay, your efforts based on this data. Okay, you will find out then how you can analyze the next steps and the plans so that you can plan for a better budget and execution in the future. Okay, what kind of data can you find by using analytics? For example, which social network deserves the bulk of your time and budget? What are your top performing pieces of content? Okay, what's the overall impact of your brand's social presence to your business? Those are some of the questions that you need data for so that you know how to redirect your marketing campaigns in the future. Okay, there are a lot of social media analytics tools that can help you track your social presence. Among them are Sprout Social, HubSpot, Tap Influence, BuzzSumo, Curate, Keyhole, and even Google Analytics, which is very good. You can use Google Analytics for your website and get some user metrics, which is also very important. Okay, if you're new to these terminologies, again, don't hesitate to type in the chat when you're watching this, I want 10, and then we will reach out to you so that we can have a conversation to educate you more about these things. All right. So aside from these, the things that I mentioned to you guys, it's also beneficial for you to know your user metrics. I said about user metrics. What is user metrics? Basically, it is measuring the users or your viewers, your visitors, whoever you want to visit your site or your platforms. That's your user. Okay. So user metrics is you measuring their experience in your website, in using your website. Okay, that's user metrics. So what it aspires to know are the following aspects of user experience. Okay, like in the lingo of IT and digital, is UX, user experience, which are 4 aspects. It's usage, satisfaction, ease of use, and how to ramp up. What is usage? The question to ask is, are customers using it? Okay. What is satisfaction? Are your customers happy about using your website? Okay. What is ease of use? Are they happy because it's easy to use? Okay. Do they need tutorials on how to use their website? Hopefully not. Okay. Ramp up. Is it easy to get started and to grow? Okay. Those are some of the things that if you're checking your user experience or metrics, you have to take note of. You also can ask these questions to yourself and to your team to assess, which is what? Which page of my website do my customers go to frequently? Right? Your website has a lot of pages. Which page do they go frequently? Another question to ask is, how long do they stay? Another question to ask is, what is their bounce rate? So those are just some of the questions that you can ask them. Okay? In social media, Facebook, YouTube, Also, they provide you with a tab called Insights, and you could go to Insights to check your analytics. All right. And it will list a whole lot of practical things to measure your efforts like reach, impression, clicks, shares, engagement, so on and so forth. And if you want to know more about that, make sure that you set your alarm clock for next Friday at 9 o'clock because one of our team members will discuss these things for you guys. All right? So while you're doing that, if you're getting something out of this, again, if you haven't shared this video, please go ahead and do that while I drink my water. All right. So lastly, our number five top misconceptions about digital marketing is this: focus only on numbers. Okay? I know you're a business owner, you're a head of a corporation, you have goals, you have to know the numbers, but focusing only on numbers is a misconception about digital marketing. While you may feel overwhelmed as well with a lot of numbers to read, at the end of the day, it's not only about the numbers. Think about what matters most to your marketing efforts. Is it about creating the right relationships? Are you giving value to your market? Are you being true to who you are and why you're putting out content out there? Are you not being pressured by comparison and competition? These are qualitative questions that you also need to be asking yourself. You need to be true to who you are as a business. Of course, you have to have a listening ear. We've talked about that in the previous session, especially in the pilot episode. You can check out our YouTube page to check on our pilot episode that this talks about why branding is important, and you can see it there. But it's not always about the number of likes or the number of views. It's about creating mutually beneficial environments for you and your audience, okay? So one of the things that you should think about, aside from numbers and just growing by the number, is personalizing your content, because personalization is the new optimal conversion. People want to be treated like they're the only one, even if they're a whole part of your campaign to reach 10,000, 500,000 people across the globe. Personalization. Okay, so I can liken this to a public speaker. This is who you can be. A public speaker can electrify a whole auditorium with his presence, and people will get impressed with the words and delivery, but not everyone will connect after and will build meaningful connection after. Okay, so let's see if that's useful. And so, but if you put yourself out there, maybe in the place of a counselor who will not put on flashy words, but will be true to what they need to say to you and about you, you are authentic to the core and true to the bone because they know that that is the way to help you live better. Even a whisper from a counselor can be powerful because there is trust that's being built. All right. And you need to build trust. At the end of the day, you want your market to trust your brand. So it's not about all that flashy stuff. Yes, it's important to gain attention in the beginning, yes, but at the end of the day, you want to build trust with your market. All right, so that is it for me. That's the top 5 misconceptions about digital marketing. I want to thank you for staying on with me for 45 minutes or so. I went on overboard, but I can't stop talking about these things. I want to thank you once again, and I want to remind you also, if you are looking for a digital marketing course, we do have a digital marketing bootcamp, and you'll see that in the comment section and in one of the comments. Our team members will share the link with you so you can check that out if you want to go in depth to this whole thing about digital marketing, because there's so much more to learn. Again, lastly, thank you so much, and hopefully we get to see you in the next rounds of Ask Brand Speak. Good day, everyone.